Hey, what's up, guys? CACox97 here with the summary for The Walking Dead Volume 4. Yep, The Heart's Desire. Basically, at this point, each volume gets crazier and crazier, so, yeah. So this is more of them living in the prison, starting to get to... They've already gotten used to life, and so they're just, living in the prison and stuff. Really quickly, I just want to point out, if you guys don't like these videos, then don't watch them. Simple enough. So, yeah. So, starting off... it was a heck of a cliffhanger. We didn't actually lose any characters from the first volume in the previous volume, the third one. But it ended with a heck of a cliffhanger. One of the prison inmates and his buddy had shotguns, and they pointed the gun at Rick and told him to get the frick out of their prison. Which, is kind of their sanctuary. It's the only place they can live at. So, we're in trouble. So right off the bat, we start off and we meet this new girl. We don't know who she is. She's wandering around. Looks like she has two zombies there. She's holding them by chains. They don't have any mouths or arms, so that's weird. She's holding two zombies with her. Otis, if we remember Otis, again, he was the guy who accidentally shot Carl in the second volume. He's apparently, I don't really know what happened. He was just gathering up supplies at the farm, but now he's making his way to the prison. And, he's having trouble with lots of zombies and stuff. They're getting in his way. The new girl, she's just standing there with the zombie behind her, and all of a sudden, she just turns around and slices his head right off. She apparently has a katana, a ninja sword with her, which is pretty cool. So she keeps on moving along with the two zombies that she has in chains. And we start back at the prison now. We're back right where they left off. Patricia, who helped them get the guns in the first place, the two inmates, immediately tries to stop them and says, "No, you didn't say you were going to kill them." So, well, I mean, she tries to mean good. Just Patricia keeps on making bad decisions. He's still a good guy, I guess, in my book. But, yeah, so they're basically talking over and stuff, trying to figure out how they got the guns and stuff, and he's like, "So where'd you find all that stuff?" And he says, "In A block. You hadn't checked that out yet." And he's like, "A block? The place that we didn't check out yet?" And he says, "Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought. Because they didn't check it out, which means that there's probably zombies in there. So they just let out a giant horde of zombies. Wonderful." So immediately everyone forgets that they're fighting each other and starts fighting off the zombies. So finally some teamwork. Everyone starts shooting away at the zombies and stuff. Taking them all out. Otis is making his way to the prison and he realizes there's gunfire and he's like, "Oh, what's going on? What? And then zombies are attacking him. It's very close. He hops down and he's like, hey, open the gates, come on, help me out here." But all these zombies are attacking him and stuff. He can't get away. Oh, he ran out of ammo. No. Oh, the new girl saves the day by slicing that zombie. Oh, wow, she's pretty cool. So she saves him and says, "Come on, follow me." So she's just kicking A. There's lots of fighting in the beginning of this volume. Pretty cool. Pretty good way to start it off. So they're still, killing every single zombie out there, firing away and stuff. One zombie gets up behind Dexter, but Rick shoots the zombie, and he says, "Doesn't mean crap, I'm still gonna kick you out of here anyway. Smart man would have let it get me." So that kind of pisses off Rick a bit. Glaring eyes. So during the commotion, everyone keeps on firing their guns and stuff, they're running out of ammo and stuff, they're just firing. And in the commotion, Rick, wait a second, what? He kills Dexter. Blam! Just shoots him right in the head. And Tyrese saw it happen. And immediately it's like, "No, Dexter's been shot!" Cry me a river. Alright, all the zombies are dead. He must have been caught by a stray bullet. I mean, everyone was shooting and stuff. So, yeah, that's interesting. Doesn't sound like the Rick that we used to know. He's changing. So, Andrew, the other inmate, is really sad, like, no, he's dead, whatever. "So, are you gonna try and kick us out now?" And he's like, "No, I guess so, here's my guns, blah, blah, blah." He's an idiot. So immediately Rick takes control and says, "Alright, everyone start cleaning up, we gotta clear all these zombies, dead bodies out of here and stuff. And, let's keep continuing." And then, the new girl comes over and gets Otis and takes them into the prison. And so we get to find Otis. It's like, "Here you go, Otis. Hey, wait a second, who's this new chick?" And he says, "Oh, she saved my life." "Oh, why, thank you, stranger, but you can be allowed in here. We just have to we have to hold on to your weapons and stuff. You aren't allowed to have your weapons at all times because we don't know you yet. Those two zombies can't come in there with you." And she says, "No problem." cuts their heads right off. Like, I don't need him anymore. So, apparently, she has been surviving out there on her own this entire time with just a ninja sword. And those two zombies were her boyfriend and his brother. And for some reason, after they stopped attacking her for a while, she cut off their arms and their mouths so they, couldn't bite her and stuff. Apparently that stopped the zombies from attacking her, because of the smell. It kind of blocked her out. So, yeah, that's useful. But then, hello, this is interesting. Andrew, he's still crying. He runs off into the field. And it's like, should we go get him? Nah, frick it. He's screwed anyway. So, yep, already. Bye-bye, Andrew. So, out of the 4 inmates that we found in the beginning, 3 of them are already dead. So, Axel is the only one left, and he's actually been the nicer one. So, that's cool. So, they're talking and stuff. Later that night, Tyrese is talking with Rick and points out, hey, dude, I saw you shoot Dexter. That kind of throws away your whole rule of you kill, you die. If you recall, in the 3rd volume, he had made that rule. So, Rick points out, yeah, that's kind of wrong thing. I mean, in my opinion, it was the right thing to do at that time because, he was going to kick him out and stuff, but still, it wasn't completely justified. So, these characters are changing, and as you can see, he's not too happy about what he did. So, we got all these zombies at the gate and stuff, and all of a sudden, a knife pops through and kills one of the zombies. And, Glenn points out, see, ta-da, we got a new way to kill these zombies. It's much easier now. Ah, that's handy. Yeah. Maggie points out that, she actually apologizes for, back in Volume 3 when she said, I don't like you anymore, you're just gonna die like everyone else. She was just upset at the time. She got her anger out by killing that stupid Thomas dude. So, they're back together again. They're cool. They're cool. So, everyone's in the cafeteria eating it up and stuff, and Andrea comes out, and she's wearing a inmate suit, or a prison suit, the orange jumpsuit things, just like Axel. She points out, everyone, we've been wearing the same clothes for, months now. We stink like crap. I say we should wear all these orange suits anyway. It'll be much more comfortable. So, everyone's gonna wear orange suits now. Feel like you're really in a prison. Yay! So, Rick goes over, talks with Lori and stuff. She's very nervous about everything because it was a heck of a week for everyone. Otis found out that Patricia betrayed everyone twice, so he's angry with her. They used to be together, but now he absolutely hates her. He also makes a racist remark, but I won't say that. The new girl, we find out what her name is. Her name is Michonne. Okay, alright, so now I can call her Michonne. So Michonne is talking with Tyrese and stuff, and apparently they actually have some stuff in common, kind of. Like, they're talking and stuff, and she points out, wait a second, weren't you in the NFL at one point? And he's like, yeah, I was. So they're getting it along a little too well with Carol right there next to Tyrese, which isn't very good. Heart's Desire, if you recall. Anyway, glass of wolf, frick, glass of water. So Maggie and Glenn still really like each other, blah, blah, blah. Andrea's talking with Dale and stuff, they really like each other too. And Dale, is thinking of when he's going to leave with only Andrea. They're talking it over, and he says, I don't know, not now. We still need to stay here. So, again, that's interesting. They're going to leave sometime. So Alan is still completely, brain dead. He's not really doing anything, kind of. So, that's interesting. That's surprising. Donna died 2 volumes ago, and yet he's still fricked up. He can't deal with her death, so that's weird. So Herschel is, digging, planting plants and stuff, because he's the farmer and stuff, grow some crops and food for everybody. Keep the food going. And Axel makes a bad remark on accident, and immediately Herschel is angry at him, and he points out, alright, I know that my fellow inmates haven't really put me in the brightest light, since all of them are crazy, but doesn't mean I liked them, alright? I didn't like them either, so, I don't understand why you have to be angry at me. The reason why Herschel's angry at any prison inmate is because one of them killed his 2 daughters, so, yeah, he's a little pissed at that. So they're not getting along very well. Alan is still brain dead. Axel talks with him and stuff. And Rick points out, hey, you want to come with us? We're going to go check out something. So he says, all right, I'll follow you. So they're going to go check out A Block. Find out if there are any other zombies. There might be some useful stuff in A Block. Because, the prison's a huge place. Alan makes a mistake and tries to shoot a zombie. And he points out, no. We don't want to, make any noise. And plus, we don't got a whole lot of bullets, man, all right? So, Alan doesn't know anything. He's basically useless at this point. Whatever. So they find a library, which, will be, fine with the ladies. They'll be able to read books and stuff, keep them occupied. You find a couple zombies. Alan gets scared because he's useless at this point. He accidentally shoots. Alan's just useless. He's just not doing well at all. So they're still wandering around. He's like, all right, hold up. Give me a minute. That one zombie scared me. So he's standing there. There's a zombie right there behind him. You might want to watch out, Alan, before... Oh, crap. The zombie comes out and bites him on the foot, or the leg. Oh, crap. So Axel and Rick immediately turn around like, oh, crap. Meanwhile, Tyrese and Dale are checking out another part of A Block, looking around, and hey, what's this? They find a generator. Well, that will be interesting. That'll be fun. We can, have electricity running and stuff. That's very good, very good. They hear the screams of Alan, so they're like, ah, crap, come on, let's go. Rick and Axel are dealing with Alan, and Alan's saying, I'm dead. Rick, take care of my children, take care of them like they were your own. You're a good father, blah, 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 I'm gonna die. I don't like Alan anymore. I really don't like him anymore. So Rick and Axel are talking over, and Rick finally decides, wait a second. Back in Volume 3, when, if you stop the infection from getting to you in time, maybe it'll save your life. So, wait a second. How are we going to stop the infection from killing Alan? We have to separate the bite from the rest of him, which means that they have to get his foot and part of his leg away from the rest of his body. That's going to be a bit messy. So they're carrying him out. Tyrese and Dale are helping out. And he realizes what he has to do. He grabs out an axe, his trusty axe that he's had, or hatchet, since the first volume. And they're like, wait, no, dude, you might kill him, okay? We can't do this, we can't. And he just yells out, I have to do this, with the kind of crazy look in his eyes, which isn't very good. And he hacks away at Alan's leg. He's gonna amputate his leg, cut it right the frick off, trying to save his life. So that's a very bloody mess happening. Tyrese is like, oh no, I'm gonna look away. Alan is like, but then he's passed out again. Lots of blood everywhere, very ugly sight. And Rick says we have to tie off the wound. And here's Herschel. He's a doc. He can heal people and stuff. So Herschel immediately helps out. Does a nice homemade bandage and stuff using Axel's hair and heals him up. But he says he's lost a lot of blood. He might not live. So that's not good. So here's Carl and Sophia standing around watching these zombies. They're like, so, are you scared of them? And she says, no, I feel sorry for them. They look sad, don't they? And he's like, yeah, they kind of do. So, observing the zombies. But then back to the commotion. Alan is dying. So, Otis is praying and stuff, just, hoping everything will go away. But Tyrese says to go get some stuff, so Otis isn't the nicest person at the moment. Sophia and Lori are getting along pretty well, talking and stuff. And Rick walks over and says, Alan's hurt. He might die. So that's not good. Andrea is standing over Alan, and Alan, again, stupid Alan, he says, you need to take care of my children. You need to take care of my boys. I thought he was talking to Rick before about that. He's crazy. He's gonna die. So Andrea just says, no, I'm not gonna take care of your kids, because you're gonna frickin' live, alright? You're gonna live. And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna die. And Carol is like, what happened? Oh, well, Rick cut off his leg trying to save his life. What? So that's not good. Things are happening. It's kind of confusing. Tyrese is in the gym, getting ready and stuff. And Michonne comes in there and talks to him and stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, heck of a time. And I'm just going to say, she makes him feel better without him having to do any work. And Carol sees it happening, and she is very upset about it. So I'll just put it that way. You guys can probably imagine what it is anyway. So Glenn and Maggie are getting on better than a house on fire, even though a house with fire doesn't really get along very well because it burns down. They're doing very well. They're not, they really do like each other. It's kind of nice. So Michonne is, sitting around and she's talking to someone who we don't see, and she's talking and stuff, basically just saying, I like it here, I'm gonna calm down, and I don't care if these people might be a little crazy, I'm just happy to have a place to live in. And Andrea walks over and says, wait a second, who the frick are you talking to? There's nobody here.